Hello, what is up everyone? It's Truth Reviews here. I hope you guys have been doing well. I hope you've had a fantastic day, a fantastic time. I hope you're all staying well. If you're new to the channel, give me a like, give me a subscribe, it's always appreciated. Leave a comment on this video if you agree with my tier list. If you don't, say where you would place these settlements slash bases rather. Tell me all about your opinions on the bases, which ones you like the most, which ones you don't like the most, and tell me why. I really do love interacting and reading comments, so I'm always free to read them, and for you guys to post is always welcome. And you're always welcome to join the channel too with the notification bell. Let's get straight into the ranking without further ado. Thank you guys. Alright, so let's begin this ranking. And to start off with, at number 4, at last place, number 4, you know, it doesn't really sound bad enough, but I suppose at last place, I am placing the Minutemen Castle base. Now, hear me out, hear me out. The Minutemen base is technically the best base in the entire game. So, you know, you might be asking, Truth, why are you rating it last then? Why are you putting it down so low? Why is it your least favorite? What do you hate about it? And the truth is, I don't really hate any of these bases at all, really. I really like them all. It's just Castle Base to me is the one that I don't like the most. In case you guys don't know, I have stated this before, I'm not hugely fond on building. Give me a couple hours to get into it and then I can really build some nice settlements, but I'm not into the huge amounts of how much you have to do to like get your materials and stuff. I do find it fun for the first couple hours, like I say, but then it does get some more daunting. So for someone who loves to build and like build a base with turrets and have a food system and have a real cool settlement growing, Castle Base is the best option for you, and it's the best base in the game. And on top of that, the fact that it's a settlement as well, that is cool because it's the happiness of the people there. So that, like I say, that's a cool factor. Things that I like about Castle Base are that you can build. I have seen, I'm showing you on camera here, this is a fantastic, I think some of it's modded, but this is an insane building of Castle Base, and there's lots of other ones too. Castle Base is the Fortress of Hope for the Minutemen, and while I do really like the amount you can do with it, my problems with it come that compared to all the other bases, I don't think it's as cool. I don't think it's as like it's not got as good reputation, and also like because it is just a settlement, the base really has not a lot to offer. I mean, it's got a lot of rooms in it and stuff, and don't get me wrong, the loot in Castle Base is amazing. However, purely going off of the base alone, it is a castle, which is obvious from the name, but my problems with it do lie in the fact that it is a wrecked castle. Now, this isn't a state-of-the-art cool castle. This is a wrecked castle that you fight to gain access to, and you are literally given in charge of the whole thing, and you have to rebuild it on your own. Now, this to me would be a lot funner, and don't get me wrong, like I say, building a settlement, building houses in the castle, building turrets on the castle is all fun to me, and the mortars, they're fun. However, it does get long after 2 or 3 hours of building. I don't mean like non-stop, obviously, but on your playthrough, you can't really be bothered to do it anymore unless your main thing is building. And I suppose what they could do to make this a little bit more fun, in my opinion, is have it so you can actually upgrade your castle. I know, once again, I am changing the dynamics of the Minutemen here and Fallout as a whole, but imagine, like, I don't know, you could pay in caps. Like you can buy a house in Diamond City. There's 3 stages of the castle. The first stage is your base stage, you don't pay for that. Your next stage, you go with Ronnie, who's not an old Minutemen general. Once again, I apologise in my Why the Minutemen Suck video. I said she was a general, my mistake. Anyway, you go with Ronnie, and like maybe you go get some materials and things, or maybe you pay Preston, or you know, something like that. And then you get to base level 2, which is like a little bit more fortified and upgraded. And then base level 3, I don't know, they add in like guard systems and turrets, and the castle is fully done up. Perhaps you could pay for a fully done up castle. If it was like that and it slowly progressed higher and higher, this would be at my top, because something like that is very cool, and plus with the building bonuses, it is really cool. However, to me personally, going off of aesthetics alone, the thing that really kills it for me is it's wrecked, and it's very open and just full of nothing, so it requires a lot of work. So that is why it is going at number 4 for me. Alright, at number 3, we have the Railroad HQ. Now, I really like the Railroad HQ. The only reason it's not higher is, once again, there's only 4 bases in Fallout 4 that I can, really think of, unless you want to count, like, I don't know, the police station and Diamond City and all of that all together, and all the settlements. I mean, that would be mad. But in terms of main faction bases, the Railroad are going at number 3. Now, the thing that I don't like about the Railroad's base is, I've talked about this in my Why the Railroad Suck video. Go watch it if you have the time. Is that there's a red fucking line that leads you straight to their base, and they're meant to be like undercover and shit, but there's a red line that like goes straight to their base, and then their password into like their base. So basically, it's an old church. So you go into this old church, and I really like it set in an old church because it's desolate around, so no one would expect to look there, because the only thing there is like ghouls and shit. And you go in, and there's pretty much there's nothing. You go down this like corridor of basements, so it's really cool, and you get to like a password check to actually get into the main HQ, which is in like a tunnel system underground with loads of tech and like lab stuff and all the fun characters and like plans. But to get into that bit, you have to do a password, and I'm tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the password's something like the Railroad or Follow the Freedom Trail, or I think it is literally just Freedom Trail, which is the dumbest shit in the world, because anyone's gonna know that password. Like, what the fuck? I mean, you could argue that the Railroad did that on purpose so they could recruit people in, but I don't know, they seem very worried that you knew the password and were able to get in, because they like point loads of guns at you and shit. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't hate I do quite hate the Railroad. However, what I don't hate is their base. I really do enjoy the Railroad's base. So their main base is, you go into it, there's stairs leading down it, and then you have Desdemona's desk. Desdemona is like the leader of the whole base. You have her like desk and like planning like sector there. You have the doctor's stuff, and then you have Tinker Tom's over in the corner. There's some target practice in the corner, and then you have Pam the robot, her little section off to like in a side room. I really like the Railroad's base. I was debating putting it further up. The things that let it down for me is obviously the password and like the church, like the church bit as a whole, because the church really has nothing going on for it. It is just empty space, just like I said for the Minutemen. But I do still really like the Railroad's base. I think it's pretty fun. I think it's pretty cool. And it does fit their aesthetic of them being undercover the whole time. I just wish their password wasn't so obvious. But I do like how cluttered everything is up, and it's always fun to go in there and do. And don't get me wrong, I don't like the Railroad, but I do have fun doing their quests sometimes. I won't lie. Some of their missions are pretty fun. But yeah, that's why I'm ranking it here. I think it's a pretty cool idea of a base, pretty cool base. I just wish it wasn't so obvious to the whole where it is and like the password and stuff like that. And the reason why it's in number 3 is we have a lot bigger fish to fry coming up. At number 2, we have the Institute. Now, this was really difficult to me. You obviously now know what number 1 will be, but I'll still keep some tension there in case you haven't played Fallout. Don't know why you'd watch this video if you haven't played Fallout 4, but hey, whatever. Now, the Institute base to me is very cool. There is only one thing that lets it down to me. However, I think it is very, very cool. It's the most high-tech and cleanest place we have ever seen, arguably, in a Fallout game. It's like chrome, the whole thing. You know the SpongeBob episode where like SpongeBob turns and he goes, everything's chrome?
Okay, what's going on here? Why is everything chrome?
That is pretty much the Institute's like whole feeling. Everything's sort of whitey blues, and it really feels like it was built by a bunch of scientists. It pretty much was, but it's very, very cool. Also, I haven't been mentioning the music. I do like the Minutemen's music quite a bit, but the Railroads was quite forgettable. I can't even remember their main theme. Basically, each faction's like room or base rather has its own like main theme. I cannot remember the Railroads. I can remember the Institutes very well, the Institute and the Minutemen. But the Institute's main theme is probably my favorite in the whole game for bases. Just take a listen. Take a listen. Yeah, I did that in my last video as well on the Institute. Check that out if you haven't seen it. It's why the Institute just work. But I did that in my last video because I love the Institute's main theme. It's got this creepy, weird vibe to it, much like the base. Because obviously this is the, you know, you're scavenger of the wasteland. You're walking around the wasteland non-stop, and you're seeing dead bodies and super mutants and blown up buildings and things on fire and rubble and ashes and bombshells. And you come into this desolate. There is not a speck of like grime at all in the Institute, unless you go like down to the very bottom of it, and it's just clean, and it's so off-putting because you know that Fallout's so grimy. In fact, this reminds me, I had a friend, I bought Fallout for her birthday, Fallout 4, and she got it. I don't know if she completed it or not. If you're watching this video, you better complete it. But anyway, I had this friend, and was going through Fallout, and I told her about the Institute, and she was like, I'll probably choose the Institute just on the fact of how clean they are. And it's kind of true. Like their base is so clean, and like that, the middle bit where there's that elevator and it's coming down, amazing. I mean, it just looks visually beautiful. The Institute is also probably like graphically, Fallout's like showing off like so much of its like graphical power. There is a lot of high detail in the Institute, and I like the little like suburbs of like your rooms, and there's different like bays. There's like a weapon testing area. There is absolutely loads to the Institute, and I really do enjoy the whole thing. I enjoy it, not just as a concept, like I just enjoy the Institute base. The one thing that lets the Institute base down for me is there's not like an outdoor bit. You never get to see the actual outside entrance into the Institute base. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just because they sealed it all off, but I just wish there was more to it, because my problem with the Institute base is after you walk around it for so long, everywhere starts to look the same, and it gets a bit boring, unlike the next faction's base. But yeah, like I say, everything gets a bit boring, and it sort of just looks all the same eventually, so that's a bit annoying. But overall, I love the Institute space. It's got so much cool gimmicks to it, and it was a real tough decision, but I'm placing it in second strong. Which means, at Truth Review's ranking of the Fallout bases, the number one spot is the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood of Steel's base is amazing to me. I absolutely loved it. And there is only one reason I love this base so much as I do, and that is the Pridwin. The Pridwin is so badass. I love how in all the other Fallouts, most of them, the Brotherhood of Steel, are just cramped into these like vaults, and they're just hiding in these vaults. In this game, they come in with full fucking force. You see them fly in with the Pridwin, and with these birds next to them, these planes and shit next to them, flying in with them, vertibirds, I should say. They're flying with the Pridwin, escorting it, and then it lands, and they set up base camp there. They feel so strong. This Fallout 4, you really get you really get a sense that that the Brotherhood are an army, like a full mobilized army, and they've come to the Commonwealth. And I love their base. I love their base for two reasons mainly. Mainly because there's so much of it. It's the biggest base, I would say. I don't know if someone could let me know if the Institute is bigger, but I just feel like the Brotherhood, including the inside of the Pridwin and the out, it's just massive. The Brotherhood's actual base is split into like two bits, so you've got the outdoor and then the Pridwin section. The outdoor is like a massive checkpoint area. There's a cargo bay, there's a landing pad for the vertibirds. There's cargo storage, like I said. There's like troops on the ground chatting and moving around. I love this. The outdoor bay is like a feeling of all the troops are camped out there. They're ready. This is a checkpoint. You know, in like Afghanistan, all the films like you see in Iraq and stuff, and they get those like checkpoint bases. That's what it feels like. It feels like this mobilized army is just boom, set camp right there. And then going into the Pridwin, oh my gosh, I remember my face, like, exploring it. I just thought it was so cool for my first time. Obviously, you know, I didn't really know anything about the Brotherhood, and just to see them roll up like this, because you've got so much in the Pridwin. You've got the cafeteria, there's, like, the bit where all the power arm is made. obviously the captain's bay, where Elder Maxon stands as well. You got the back where the trader is. There is just loads, absolutely loads, and it feels all the time. It feels like they're an army. There's so much to do there as well. There's a bar. There's a trading area. You can fix your power armor there. You can get new power armor there. You can buy stuff. You can get so many missions. And I know other bases have a lot to do, but I just feel like the Brotherhood, there is so much there, and so much, like, all the time your eyes are like dying. And there's loads there. I love it. I absolutely love it. Also, you get your own personal quarters in the Brotherhood, which you can't say for the Railroad. I mean, I suppose you can for the Minutemen and the Institute, but Minutemen's sort of optional whether you sleep there or not, and the Institute you do, I think. However, the Brotherhood, I love their main theme. Just take a listen again. The Brotherhood's main theme like screams to me, we have the power, we are here, this is our turf now, and I love it. I even love the setting of where it is. It's in like a plain graveyard, and it fits so well. Even like the visuals of the Pribwin, it looks so badass, and that is why I am placing the Brotherhood space at number 1. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave me a like. Please feel free to subscribe. I really do appreciate it. At the minute, the views have dipped a little bit, so I'm hoping this video, I really have enjoyed making it, so I'm hoping it'll push it back up. You guys seem to love the Fallout videos. They're getting good views at the minute, so I'm always open to suggestions on what sort of content or videos you want to see next. Please let me know. If you want another Fallout video, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to see on? At the minute, I am very limited to Fallout 4, as I haven't played Fallout 3 in years. And in terms of Fallout New Vegas, here we go. Here's a stretch. I've only ever seen a playthrough of it. I have never played Fallout New Vegas, which I know may sound insane, but yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love Fallout. I love everything about it. I love the universe. So anything on Fallout 4, let me know. Anything you want to see, let me know. Any rankings of any factions, I could do a video on the gunners I'm looking at the minute. So yeah, let me know, guys. Anyway, thank you guys ever so much for watching the video. Ooh, liking the video. I'm getting ahead of myself. If you want to like, please do. If you want to sub, please do. With the bell would be most appreciative. You guys have an amazing rest of your week. Amazing rest of your week. Oh my gosh. Amazing rest of your day. And stay safe, stay cool. I will see you guys in a bit. It's been Truth. Peace.